Hello and welcome to Drumbeg Studio Podcast with me, Michael Lumbey. And each week we'll be looking at 4 different topics, which I hope you will choose. This week I have chosen the 4 topics myself, and I also hope we can get a few special guests on each week as well. But let's kick this show off with a bit of music. I'm going to play you a small clip of a single that I released last year, 2018 in May. This is Black Crow.
Because I've done a dirty crime and I can't wash the blood from the year's hand. In a prison cell for good, like a small box made of wood, I am ready to set alight and burn. It'll all be lost and forgotten. No one will know. Shoulder. Whatever I say is wrong.
Yeah, of course that was Black Crow, a single that I released last year. I put together a music video with a couple of mates from college. You can find that on my Michael Lumbey YouTube channel, or you simply need to type into YouTube Michael Lumbey Black Crow and you'll find it. But now let's find out the 4 topics of today. These 4 are: we'll be working in the sound industry, how we listen to our music, what is the leading genre of music today, and what new music genres have developed over the last 10 years or so. So, working in the sound industry. Some of you may know I've recently graduated with a degree in sound engineering from my local college here in Perth. And one of the first things that they taught us when we started was that to survive in this industry, you need to have more than one job. You'll probably have to be working either live and in the studio, or working for multimedia and in the studio. Now, in Dundee, which is not too far from here, we have a thriving games industry which has developed in the multimedia aspect of the sound industry. And also, being a musician myself, I do know that recording studios may be starting to fall in business because it's one of the easiest things in the advancement of technology. We are able to record our own music from our bedroom. Now, it's very interesting this, because although people can claim that they can get good recordings from their bedroom, they're never going to match the quality of bitrate and sample rate and just general overall music quality that we can get from a recording studio. You know, it's not just down to hardware, it's also down to software and also down to the way the room sounds. Recording studios have been designed in a certain way so that the engineer can manipulate certain sounds and manipulate a guitar tone or manipulate a piano or a bass or a kick to sound how the artist wants on the record. It's just the way it is. You have a damp room for recording close vocals or a close acoustic guitar bit, or you have a lively room where you can record a drum kit, or if you want a lively piano sound, and it's creating that natural reverb or non-natural reverb in a dampened environment that saves you time later on to manipulate it with software that you can use, or even hardware that you can use, when you can simply just get the best recording. And looking around, there's still loads of great recording studios within Perth and Dundee, and even across the world. There's this one here, this Drumbeg Recording Studios. You can find us online at drumbegstudios.com or on our Facebook page, Drumbeg Studios. Now it's time for a bit more music. I'm going to play you a cover version by the Rolling Stones that me and a very good musician and singer did. This is Under My Thumb.
thumb, the girl who once had me down. Under my thumb, the girl who once pushed me around. It's down to me. The difference in the clothes she wears down to me. She has come under my thumb, under my thumb. She's under my thumb, under my thumb. She's under my thumb.
There you go, Under My Thumb, a cover that I did with a great singer. That was Fiona Reid singing on that. She was out at the studio last year and we recorded that and we put it up again up on my Michael Lumbie YouTube channel. You just need to search into YouTube, Michael Lumbie, Under My Thumb. How do we listen to our music is the next topic of today. As part of a research class at college, I looked into how the comeback of vinyl has affected the way people listen to their music. Sadly, looking at my question results on my survey, they were inconclusive as to whether this was true or not. This was probably down to the fact that my survey was only served by a few people and it didn't have a much wider audience than I was hoping. But there has been a trend in the last 10 years or so. Vinyl has been coming back. But I think in terms of how we listen to our music today, I think the aspect of streaming websites on these digital media platforms are head and shoulders above what we used to listen to. Now, I mean, discovering music, people used to discover music on the radio, for example, and then you would buy a CD, you would pop down to your local record store, you would buy a record, you would buy a CD of this thing, and now, is that changing because of streaming websites like Spotify? I think it probably is. But it would be a shame, again, to see recording studios that are being used not just for recording, but also for radio stations, to see them being sort of knocked off their perch and kicked out of this industry. But, who knows? Welcome back to Drumbeg Studio Podcast, where we've been looking at how we listen to our music and also working in the sound industry. Now we move on to the third topic of today, 3 of 4. What is the leading genre of music today? Now, according to streaming sites, it is Korean pop, or K-pop, as it is known, as the new leading genre of music today. Other articles say that rock is no longer top and that rap music is taking its place at the top. Now, CBS News in America say that country and rock are the nation's favourite genres of music today. Music will always have its trends, and that's just the way it is. Every industry have its trends, but I mean, I still feel pop music has become much higher in terms of rock on the chart list. That's definitely been a recent thing. Your charts these days are definitely loaded and covered by pop artists of today, which is what people obviously find is popular music. Popular music, you know, has changed from what it used to be back in the 60s and 70s. But my opinion still stands. I still love rock and roll. That will always be the way it stands. I've been brought up on that music, and that is absolutely fine. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Let me know your own opinion on this topic. Write to me. Send me a message. I want to know. This is Friends. Wow, that was a song called Friends, which I did in a band called the Cosmic Stars, which included myself, my brother, and also a friend of ours. We recorded that in a local recording studio, which is about half an hour from here, and about, I would say it was like 2013 we recorded that. Anyway, that was the Cosmic Stars with Friends. So, we come to the final topic of today, and that is finding out what new tastes or new genres of music have developed over the last 10 years. Now, two new genres of music that have caught my eye over the last 10 years have been indie rock and indie pop. Looking at the indie rock trend of music, it's a more modern style of rock and roll, slightly unusual to your standard rock and roll. Guitar tones are slightly lighter and your music is more poppier, I would say. I would see indie rock as the youth's answer to how they perceive rock music to possibly be back in the 60s and the 70s. Along with indie rock, we also have alternative rock music, which again is a new genre that has developed in the last 10 years or so. Both of these genres of music are taking a twist on the classic rock, and it's like musicians have taken the genre rock and they've developed and put their own spin on it, and by doing this they've created a new genre altogether. Now, those of you who don't know me that well, I'm a musician by trade, and I've been writing and recording my own music for the last 6 or 7 years or so. And in terms of my music news, I have some good news. I have a new EP, which I am bringing out at the end of this month. It is my 5th EP, which I am working with 5 tracks, and at the end of this show I will be giving you lovely listeners a sneak preview of one of the tracks off my new and upcoming EP. If you've got any conversation or topics that you want me to talk about over the next few weeks, drop me an email, drumbegstudios@gmail.com, or drop me a message on my Facebook page or via my website drumbegstudios.com. Let me know, write to me, tell me what you think of this week's show. If you've enjoyed it, tell me, leave me a comment. If you've enjoyed the topics we've been talking about, any comments that you want to make on the topics, feel free, send me a message on my Facebook page or via my website drumbegstudios.com, and I promise I'll make sure I read it out, okay? Tune in next time when we'll have conversation with special guest, artist and musician Christopher McDougall. We'll also have music from Longstay and Kate Harris. This next episode will air on the 1st of April, April Fool's Day. Send in your April Fool's Day stories and I will read them out. Right, here we go. A preview of my new EP. Thanks very much. See you next time.
People beware of what's brewing outside. They call it the beast from the east. No turning back to the easy life when you're staring down at your feet. Only you can change the rules that have been laid down. The targets will not fade from the figure who hangs around. He's just a wizard in a blizzard, and he's holding up the weight of the stone. A wizard in the blizzard. Take his own advice, he's a one true sacrifice.